how's your I'm about to transition back to fitness again. How is your how is your knees? You know what I mean? I know you said you hurt your knees, but are you doing like a lot of exercises that, you know, are like hurting your knees, or like are you have a lot of pain in your knees, or do you push past it, or like where are you at with
No,
your knee?
that's the thing that's interesting, because I do workouts like normal,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's like an internal thing. I've been doing some research on it lately, and like a meniscus, I think is what it's called, like the
Mm-hmm.
cartilage between like your knee joints,
Okay.
and I think like there is something wrong with it. So like when it's like gears grinding
Mm.
from what I looked up. So like I can push stuff and pull stuff all day, but if I twist my knee wrong or if I hit something too hard, it it just hurts. It sends a
Mm.
shock up my leg, and that's what kind of scares me. You know how earlier I said I want to get to at least like 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Once I feel like everything I can lift my own body weight, if my leg is fine, cool. But before I go any further, I do want to get it checked out just to
Yeah.
make sure I can push past normal.
Mm-hmm. You listen to any David Goggins?
No, but
Oh
I've heard
my
that
god,
name a lot recently.
dude. Oh my goodness. You need to get into him. Real talk. He's the man. You know, he was a Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL, almost 300 pounds, lost a lot of weight, ultra
Goodness.
marathoner. He freaking does and do everything. He wrote a book. I don't know why I'm over here promoting him. But anyway, it is what it is. I look off for, he's a serviceman and his Veterans Day. So, but his story is great, man, and he talks about how he walked on like broken legs and different things like that. He pretty much had like major shin splints and these different things, and he ended up pushing past them to the point to whereas he didn't have shin splints anymore, which is crazy because I have, which is really weird. And he's the only person that I've actually ever talked to or I've ever heard about where you work through the pain and the injury kind of fixes or heals itself. I don't know how true
Mhm.
it is or not, because like me, I have knee pains, I have hip pains, back surgery, all arthritis, all of the things. But when I do certain movements, I'm fine with them. But other movements I can't. Like for me, I can run and I can walk, but if I do jumping jacks, my feet will hurt so bad. Like I
That
can't do
impact,
jumping
right?
jacks. The impact, like box jumps, I can only do a certain amount because my feet hurt. But running and walking, I'm totally fine on it. Like I have flat feet, and that may be part of it. And I'm getting older too. Um, do you find that that's sometimes the case when you have like injuries or with your knee and stuff like that, that you can do certain things still?
Oh yeah, and that was what was interesting because even when I was in Texas still, um, so it wasn't too long after the first injury,
Mm-hmm.
I could still go run, which was weird, but it was fine to me because if I was running, I was just going in a straight line.
Yeah.
But if I was just walking down the sidewalk and like I turned left, like just that would hurt.
Mm.
So it's like twisting and stuff would mess it up, but I can keep it straight all day.
Mm.
But that
So,
that is one thing I challenge myself for in the gym because most of the time I'll do like if I'm doing anything legs, I'll do everything like parallel legs. But some days I'll do like wide stance or like narrow just to
mm-hmm.
make sure my knee has the mobility to do side to side stuff.
Mm.
Because I don't want to limit my training to kind of cushion myself and then just have to make up for it later. I want to build it all at once. And if it gives me problems, I'll adjust. But
What about like the difference between like, people would be like, oh man, I'm so tired today. Or not, well, actually, let me scratch that. People will say that they're hurt or they're injured and they're really not. You know what I mean? Like, or how do you determine whether you're actually hurt, whether you're actually injured, or whether you're just being lazy and you just don't want to work out?
well, just just from the military makes you do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to doing it every day, so I know
Yeah.
that if I do arms yesterday, I'm gonna hurt today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna do 5 curls and say, oh, my arm broke.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that.
But however, if I'm doing like a leg press and my knee snaps, then I'll be like, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah. I know a lot of people, you know, and I would not say that at some point in my life I haven't been guilty of it, is saying I'm really hurt, I'm really injured, but I'm really hurt, or I'm really just sore. I know, and that kind of goes back to like the awareness piece, you know, being aware of, you know, where you are in your fitness, where you are mentally. Because if you don't know where you are mentally and physically, okay, so here's an example. I think I can do a good example. So like a few weeks ago, I had stopped rucking for a little bit. Like I like a little 30-pound ruck I put on my back. And I hadn't rucked in a while. So then I went out there and rucked. I think I did maybe 3 miles one morning. But that thing presses in my back. So then the next morning I got up and I was like, man, why is my back hurting? Like I couldn't figure it out. I was like, didn't do nothing. I was like, man. And I kept thinking and I was like, I ain't gonna work out right now. So I'm gonna work out later and see how my back is. And my back was still hurting. And then I had to realize, I'm like, dude, you hadn't rucked in, 3 or 4 weeks. You had that backpack on there. So I knew then that it was the backpack and it wasn't me, it wasn't an injury, you know what I mean? But I think that's where sometimes the self-awareness come to, and the reflection piece. Like I'm a big reflector. I like to reflect back on the day. I like to reflect back on projects. I like to reflect back on goals. You know what I mean? Huge into reflection. I think I asked you something. We may have spun off, but I want to get back to it. And if you already answered it, then don't even worry about it. We'll go to the next thing. Did I ask you anything about mindfulness? Do you do any type of mindfulness for like meditation? I know we talked about podcasts, but like, do you do any type of mindfulness in general or meditation?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I had at this veteran place I was at. Mm-hmm. I'll give them a shout out. It's a 5-star veteran center in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. And they have an on-site like counselor a couple times a week. And that's one of the big things they hit on is mindfulness. And they got us into this place is supposed to be a safe place for you to gather yourself and get back on your feet. And now that you have this safe place to be mindful, we're gonna get you into it. And so just a lot of reflecting. Where am I in life? Okay, I don't have a car, I don't have my own house, I don't have a job. Where do I want to be in life? I want to have a car, job, and house. And all right, how are you gonna get there? And all right, is that your plan? All right, cool. Now what are you freaked out about? Now you can breathe. And that's why I'm extremely grateful for that place. It was like a life changer. I don't want to sound too dramatic, but
no,
because sometimes like when life hits you, like you get caught under the wave and it's too tough.
Yeah.
And that place was that lifeguard that pulled you up.
Yeah.
And it really allowed me to reflect, like what led me to this place, where I want to go, and the steps I need to go to get there.
Yeah.
And I remember in the counseling sessions when I first got there, I was just quiet and everything. And a month or so later, hey, I got my license today. Hey, I got an interview tomorrow. Hey, I got a job. Hey, I'm moving out next week. And just to look back and see that progress. It doesn't feel like that much time has passed, but it's almost been a year. And it's just crazy to see like how much has changed.
Yeah. Dude, man, I'm super happy for you, bro. Like I'm proud of you and all of those things, man. I love to see when I don't like to see when people have tragedies and struggles, but I also understand that and for most of us that's just part of life, and we're going to have them. I expect them, but I also try to prepare as much for them when they do come, hopefully I'm prepared for them. You know, did you know Bragg?
I knew of him, but I
He
think
was
he
in
left
he was in
before I got
second
there.
platoon. Okay, yeah, he's another one of the young guys that I will um, talk to every once in a while, and he's a yeah some we've had a conversation before. I mean, he's a good dude. I like Brad. So I need
I
to,
will
we
say,
need to go visit one day.
uh, taking going back to the three A's, I
Hmm.
can hit on acceptance now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because along with accountability, no one's gonna hold me to a standard anymore. You know, I'm not affected by 670 dash whatever. I
Hmm.
don't have UCMJ. I could do whatever,
Yep.
but I still hold myself accountable, and I think because I know a lot of the people I used to serve with and work with, they still follow me on social media and stuff. And
Hmm.
to me, I'm like, oh, I'm just posting whatever goofy stuff I want, but awareness comes into it. All right, hey, these people remember me as a professional. These people remember me as a leader. You know, nobody's holding me accountable, but you got to be aware of that.
Mm.
And I know after the Army, I had my personal issues pop up, and I got into low points and rough points, and for a while there, I was ashamed. That's why I haven't posted in so long, because
Hmm.
I was ashamed of the stuff I went through.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to admit, hey, I'm living in a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Hey, I had legal issues. Nobody
Hmm.
wants to admit that.
Yeah.
But that's where acceptance comes in.
Hmm.
Hey, staying off the internet, that's not going to help me, be better. You know, get back online, join a fitness group, keep posting, make yourself, you know,
So when you
accept
say
that, hey,
acceptance, you talking about acceptance of yourself and who you are.
yeah, acceptance of, you know, just because this happened in my past, that
Hmm.
doesn't mean that's my future.
Hmm.
And
But dude, check this
uh,
out, bro. Everybody has a past. Everybody has skeletons. The only difference between your skeletons and my skeletons is that you've shared some of your skeletons and I haven't shared some of my skeletons. And it's like that with most people. A lot of people walk around here like their stuff don't stink. And it do. It's just they're hiding it or they're masking it or they're not putting it out there for the world to see. But here's where you have a one up on them because you have said, I'm going to put, at least a certain part of my story out there for people to see. Now you don't have to worry about those people no more. You can tell all them people to kiss your behind now. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to live for them. Like, it's just like, I don't know how to say it, but it's almost like, F the world, but not like in a negative sense. It's like you just don't really care what people think anymore. And you care to a certain point as you want to represent yourself, like you said on social media, in a certain type of way. But at the end of the day, when you don't have that pressure from other people, dude, like, and you can be who you are, dude, that's like one of the biggest game changers of all time. Like the fact that you can say, hey, I was here, I was here, I was here, so now no one can hold that over your head. Like no one can say, "Oh man, you remember you was homeless, bro," and like and guilt you into certain things or make you feel bad about where you came from and the different things that you overcome. Dude, when you put that out there to other people, now like I said, they can't use it against you. Do you remember? I don't know if you watched it or not. You're a little young, but you may have watched. Did you ever watch 8 Mile?
bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, well, it was like with Eminem and everything. So I mean, long
Yeah.
story short was like, they were rapping, had a rap contest, a rap battle and stuff like this. And like he kept like choking and everything like that. And he gets stage fright and stuff. So what happened was he got on stage and it was a rap battle and he ended up going first, just like one of the finals or something. And what he did was he just talked about himself the whole time. Talk about he wasn't
I am
nothing.
white.
Talk
I
about his
am an
mom.
effing bum.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cheddar Bob. All that stuff, right? So once he did that, like you couldn't hold anything against him. What can you say about somebody who has already looked themselves in the mirror and have already accepted their flaws? Dude, that's the biggest game.
That would okay. I will dive into
Do it.
one story. Okay, so last summer I had my first run-in with like jail and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I looked in that like bathroom mirror. It wasn't a mirror for safety purpose. It was just a piece of shiny metal.
Yeah.
And when I looked in that, I was like, man, can I stand to look at this face in this mirror for another day?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it took hitting rock bottom to you can't find out where you don't want to. Hold on. How did I used to word this? You don't have to know where you want to go, as long as you know where you don't want to be. Something like that.
Dude, that was me. Dude, that's the reason why I joined the military. I was running from home. You know, I'm not gonna get all into a bunch of stuff right now. You know, that'll be when I do my book. But but it's, you know, I didn't know. I just knew that in my hometown it wasn't anything there that I wanted. So I just needed to go somewhere else and and start all over. You know what I mean? And so like what you said is totally true. You know, it's sometimes, you know, sometimes running ain't a bad thing. Sometimes running from our problems and getting away from our situations can be the best thing for us. You know, so I know it was for me. You know, can't wait to leave. Could not wait to leave. But I enjoy life now. You know, I enjoy getting up, you know, having the flexibility to work out and do the different things that I want to do and stuff like that. And like, you know, the military, I would be lying to say that the military didn't have, you know, something to do with that, you know, all of that, you know, and I did learn a lot from the military, you know. I learned a lot about fitness from the military. Most of my fitness knowledge came from the military, to be real. You know what I mean? I trained cadets at NC State. I've been an NCO for a long time, dude. Like, training people in fitness is like I don't have all the degrees that everybody else has or a certain certification and stuff like this. But dude, like, I didn't train soldiers to go to war. So I ain't worried about necessarily having a certification or anything like that. Is there something, so would you be interested in doing something like that? Or are you interested in maybe, you know, eventually training people? Because, you know, you talk about mentoring people, you know, you have a lot of information and you learned a lot of stuff. And, you know, even where you are right now, you have a wealth of knowledge and information. You have a lot right now with your experiences in the military, in and out, that you have to offer people. So, and if you're into fitness and stuff like that, there's something that you've thought about?
Yeah, and that's another thing I think about often is, you know, I like a lot of aspects about the military, but I can't go in because one reason or another. But
Yeah.
like you said, I still have all that knowledge and experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I still keep up with like the points and who gets pinned and stuff. And you know, I'd be on track for, you know, E6 slot right now, and I sort of think to myself, had I stayed in, had I still been like in an E6 spot or something, what standard would I be for the people under me? And even if in my life right now I don't have any people under me necessarily, I sort of think like, what if I did, you know, what would I have to offer them, you know? Because recently I just came out of a semi-long relationship, and you know, that was my structure for a long time. It was, you know, me and her. How was your day? How was my day? Hey, you want to do something? Blah blah blah. And once that ended, and I was like, man, what do I do with all this free time? I have so much, you know, things to who am I going to tell my day about? You know, who am I going to, hey, have you checked your tire pressure? You know,
Yeah.
I feel, and like I was joking with someone the other day about like renting yourself out as like a rental husband or something. Like, hey, I'll change your tire this weekend, or
dude, we can have a whole conversation about that once we end the show. Definitely. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I got you. Rent a boo.
Rent a boo.
Rent a boo. Yeah, rent a boo.
Yeah, it's interesting because I do feel like I'm still young. I feel like I'm old and young at the same time, but I'm experienced, I'd say. And I feel like where I'm at in my life right now, I don't have many outlets to share that experience. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I do love like the idea of that consistency fitness group, because it gives me a way to like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Anybody else
Yeah.
want tips?
Yeah.
Or I'll see
Exactly.
somebody's random post and just drop a comment. I like how you drop the random post throughout the day. I like the
Yeah.
engagement and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I post more when I have more time. I'm busy all the time, man. I'm trying to do all the things at once. You know what I mean? It's fun though. I
that's
have a
what's funny
purpose.
too, because like when I stayed with before my recent free time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I would
When you was in Texas? Oh, the other free
no
time.
when I was living with somebody recently,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all I would do is I'd get home from work and I'd just play video games from 5 to 2 in the morning.
Oh,
And
life.
now that I got my own car, I have free time and I go to the gym. My brother's all the time messaging me, hey, when you getting on the game? And I'm like, maybe 11 o'clock if I
Mm-hmm.
remember. Probably not till Thursday. I don't know.
Mm.
And like, it's not a bad, for the longest time, I would think of that as a bad thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
any minute away from the screen is bad. But now I'm like, man, I don't want to play the game tonight. I want to plan for tomorrow, or, you know, stuff like that. Or I want to read a passage. Like the other day I was reading like some random, what are they called? Journals? No.
Mm-hmm. Like
I
daily
was reading some
devotions or
articles.
something. Articles. Okay.
It's late. My brain's
Yeah,
quitting on me.
man. I know, mine too.
But I was reading some articles the other day, and just stuff like that. You know, alternatives to sitting at home or
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the couch. And that's why
Well,
I love staying active.
yeah.
Because, you know, you get in there, throw music on, before you know it, it's been 2 hours and every vein in your body's busting out.
Yeah, I like that. Sound
But I
like you're
love
on
that.
your it sounds like you're on your purpose. Um it took me a long time to find my purpose. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of different things in life, but once I found my purpose, like I've always been a purpose. I've always been a person who can keep themselves busy. Like I don't need to be around a bunch of people. I can self occupy. Like I can keep myself
Mhm.
busy, and I enjoy being by myself and doing things by myself. At the same time, I also, you know, enjoy being around other people and understand that other people have things to offer and that I need to be around people. But one thing I want to say is like when you're on your purpose and stuff like that, when you're on your purpose, you always have something to do. Like I wake up and I'm on my purpose every day. Like I'm excited to wake up. Like, but when I wasn't on my purpose, even though I was up and I was doing things, I may not have been as productive. But when you're on your purpose, like you always have something to do, because until you reach your purpose, there's always something that can be done getting you toward that goal or towards that purpose.
Yeah.
And you sound like you're somebody, you know, who on your purpose, and you ain't got time for a bunch of things in your life that don't add value.
I would say I'm like a slingshot,
Mm.
and I've been pulled back for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm just,
Ooh, I like it. I like
because
that analogy.
after last year, when, like I said, when I was in that cell staring at
Mhm.
that piece of metal, I would say that's rock bottom.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is this the face? I'm gonna remember this blurry face. Is this the face I want to look at? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hell no.
I know, right?
But the bad thing about starting from scratch is, you know, at first, hey, I don't have a license. You know, I need to
Mhm.
have a state ID if I get
Yeah.
pulled over. You know, well, to get a license, you need a birth certificate. I didn't have that. So for a while, my purpose was, well, I gotta wait for the paper to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, well, my purpose is the DMV. But then the more of those things started happening more quickly, I got a license, I got a job. Now I can afford rent. Now I can afford a car. Now I
Mm-hmm.
can afford the gym.
Yeah.
All those milestones are coming a lot more quickly because I've had
Yeah.
so much time to plan it out.
Mm-hmm.
It was just waiting for that first little step. And I'm one of those motivators. I'd say, and that's one of the things I have written down is, I'd say I'm my biggest critic. Like,
Mm.
no one holds me to standards. I give myself standards. Like I mentioned earlier, nobody said you have to lift 150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, just something to give myself something to work towards.
Mm-hmm.
If I weigh 150 pounds, I want to be able to push myself, pull myself, kick myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just as I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Is that where you weighed?
So
Is that where you at? 150?
Working back up.
Okay.
For a
How
while,
tall are you?
I was, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
5'11". With the hair, I'm like, with the hair, I'm probably 6'1".
I didn't realize you was that tall. I know. I mean, because
I was
everybody's
tall
taller
and
than
skinny.
me. Yeah, because everybody's taller than me. You know what I mean?
It wasn't hard to do.
No, I'm only like 5'6". I'm 5'7" on a good day, but I don't think I've been 5'7" in a while, especially after back surgery and just getting old. I'm not 5'7" anymore. I used to be 5'6" and 3/4. I might be 5'6" and a half now.
And that's funny to mention the weight thing, because to go way back to the beginning where we talked about like high school.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a wrestling tournament and I weighed 91 pounds.
Dang.
I went outside, got sick. I weighed 89 pounds. I was that small. And so like when I went to the Army, I shipped out at 128. I got out of boot camp at 148.
It was about me.
And then when I got out, I was recently at about 170. Because that's when all I did was sit on the couch and play games. You know, I did nothing. So I got up to like 170, and then I got back into the gym. I went down to 140, and now I'm back up to 150. But that's because I'm putting on the right stuff.
Yeah. So at my heaviest, I was almost 190. I was 189 when I was in Korea, and I had like a 28-inch waist too. Like all I did was go to the gym. Yeah, I was on beast mode. I was on
whoa.
Yeah, what was it? X mode? I was on X mode status or something.
X Games mode.
Yeah, I was on X game mode. Yeah, that was me when I was out there. Like I didn't have anything to do but go to the gym. Like I was out there, I was by myself, and all I did was go to the gym. And man, and then even when I was in Fort Bragg, I was in the 170s. I was around 176 or so, and now I'm under 160. So now I walk around between 155 and 160 all the time. And I love it. I remember when I was in Arizona, I was in Arizona when I first came back in the Army back in 01. And me and one of my soldiers, Mata, we was both trying to get to 160. Like neither one of us was like 100. It was like 150 pounds, like little dudes. And I remember, I think I was the first one to get up to 160 between the both of us. I was just in the gym trying to make it to 160. Now, I feel like right now I'm at my normal weight. Like I'm at the weight I'm supposed to be for my height and everything like that, you know. I work out on a consistent basis, regular basis, all of that. And I eat 80-20 for the most part. And I just roll with it. A lot easier, man, walking around, almost 40 pounds lighter. Like, and like,
it feels a lot better too.
It does. And like, I know for people who look at me and they go, oh man, you always in shape and blah, 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 blah. But like, when you 160, well, I guess that's 30 pounds, 160 to 190 for the most part, that's 30 pounds. That's a lot on a 5'6" frame too. You know what I mean? So, and I was like you, I came in the Army like around 120s and I ended up gaining, close to 20 pounds, 15 pounds or so in basic training, and I don't know how I gained any weight in basic training, dude, because I don't know about you, bro. We worked out all the time. You ate, but you only ate 3 meals a day. After you ate breakfast.
Only 3.
That's all we ate was 3. That was it. And then
we must have had different going in experiences.
How many did y'all get? I went in 90. I went in 94.
Oh, I mean like before the Army.
Oh, okay.
Like growing up, I wouldn't say we were like broke or anything, but I mean there was like 4 kids, and then 2 of them had significant others living with them, so things got rationed.
Yeah, so, same.
I'd eat I'd eat when I could. I'd snack whatever's available and stuff. But then when I got to the Army, you got 3 meals a day, and to
Yeah,
me, I
that's
was
what I
like, man,
meant.
that's so much.
Yeah.
But it
3
got
meals
me
in
on a good
Army.
routine.
Yeah. But I didn't
Even
understand how.
nowadays, I still model myself after that.
Yeah.
I still keep
Cool.
myself on meals throughout the day.
Even when I was in the military, we ate 3 meals a day. Like after we eat, I would be starving like 30 to 45 minutes later. Because we was always PTing, we was always walking, we was always rucking, we was always, airborne shuffling somewhere,
really
burn through it quick. I was always hungry. I don't see how I gained any weight in the military. I don't see how I gained anything. The first, in basic at least.
That's another big thing. 3 things. I'd say nutrition, sleep, and sex are the unspoken exercises.
You go ahead.
Nutrition is one of those things that I like to work backwards from things, because that's just how I was raised and thinking. So I was looking into the actual science of working out and building, and if your body needs this much protein and this much carbs, some people say diet and they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna eat nothing but salad, I'm just gonna be healthy. No, you need to feed your body. Just like if you buy a plant from Home Depot, you can't just put it in your window. You gotta water it and fertilize it. And so learning what I need and changing my diet to fit myself, that's been a workout itself, because one, I'm lazy and I don't like cooking.
Yeah.
So I'll just make a big batch of something on the weekend and use it through the week. But it's nice to, now that I am more active, like you said, you'll eat and you'll just feel dead hungry again.
Yeah.
Like I just ate before the podcast and I'm already dying for more food.
Yeah, me too. What did you eat?
Had a big plate of spaghetti.
Ooh, nice. Get some good carbs, get some meat in there. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I've been eating rice and beans and lentils and chickpeas.
Yeah.
So it's got a good bit of protein in it, and then the rice is carby.
Yeah.
And then I'll usually do some sort of dairy and fruit in the morning for energy.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of dairy. I'm very minimum with dairy now.
I try to limit myself on coffee and energy drinks too.
Yeah, I don't do energy drinks.
For a while, I would run on Red Bull and coffee, and now that I'm more active, I'm like, I don't even need that extra energy.
Yeah, I don't need all of this stuff. I can't do it. Me, it's more of a long-term thing. I don't know what all this stuff is. I try to limit what I put in my body now. I'm 45, man. I ain't got extra 20 years to play with life like you do. You know what I mean? But the nutrition is so key, man. Are you on a specific, no, you kind of answered that already. You ever had Monster Mash?
What's that?
Oh, so it's just like some dude on YouTube, he came up with it. I don't know. And I got it through another group that I'm in. And pretty much it's just like rice, bison, bean, bone broth. And what I do is put vegetables in it. I'll put sometimes potatoes, carrots, sweet potatoes, and spinach in it, just different things like that.
That'd be good.
Put it all together, bro. Make a whole big thing of it, like the pressure cooker and stuff like that, or
a
the
beef stew.
No, it's not even like that. It's just it's pretty much like having everything on your plate and just mixing it all together, and that's all it is. And put in a big old bowl.
Sounds good.
And bro, I just scoop it out. And then I get these different seasonings and different sauces and stuff from the grocery store, and I just put them in there and I eat it. So that's what I had for lunch. And caprese salad.
Caprese salad.
Yeah,
it's cheese and tomatoes or whatever.
Yeah, mozzarella, tomatoes, basil, and some kind of balsamic vinaigrette or something. Yeah, I'm simple, man. I don't need a whole bunch of stuff, man. Keep it simple. I just need to eat because I don't have a huge appetite, and I'm not a foodie. So I don't sit around and crave food and think about food all day. I eat because I have to.
Needs it.
Because my body needs. That's the it. Honestly, I could, if I could get rid of food in my life, I would be totally fine. I would be totally fine if I didn't have to eat. If I didn't have to eat, brush my teeth, take showers, all of those things, to just take away my time every day, and I can focus in on something else. It's crazy to think about, right? Showering, stuff takes away
That's
your
another
time.
thing that I would say is interesting that I took from the military is they teach you to eat fast.
Yeah.
One thing my drill sergeant said, he was probably joking, but he said, you'll taste your food on family day.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. And ever since then, I just naturally eat fast now. So like when I go out to eat with friends or something, like I'll scarf down my food and then I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go.
They tell us, they used to tell us to eat it now and then taste it later. That's what they used to tell us.
Yeah.
Man.
But I look at eating as my body needs this. I don't care if it tastes good.
Yeah.
As long as it fuels me.
And the thing about that, you know, a lot of people, so many people have problems with food, and a lot of it is just mental. A lot of people eat out of habit. A lot of people eat out of, you know, being depressed. And a lot of people, if you think about it, everything that we do in this country, not everything, a lot of things that we do socially is involved around food. Hey man, let's go out this weekend. Let's go get something to eat. Hey man, let's go get something to eat. Hey man, let's order a pizza. And with that and the ease of it, especially now, like, bro, you can have a whole 12 course meal delivered to your house, you know, in under an hour. You don't have to cook anything. Like, you can order everything on McDonald's menu. And in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, somebody will be ringing your doorbell, you know, and that goes back into the accountability. It goes back into the self-awareness. It goes back into the discipline. You know, like I said, everything comes back to fitness, man, at the end of the day.
Like this morning, like Reese's candy bars, any of them, they're my weakness.
Yeah.
And I brought one in with my breakfast this morning. And my coworker, he sees me changing up the eating and workouts and stuff.
You can
He's
eat
like,
that,
a candy bar?
Yeah, you can
He's
eat
like,
that.
a candy bar? Really?
Yeah. Me
He's
too.
joking,
I get the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no one's gonna keep me to that standard.
Yeah.
But
can't believe you drinking a soda.
A candy bar.
Yeah. Can't believe you drinking a soda, Garfield, Mr. Martin, all of these things. I'm like, bro, I drink sodas here every once in a while, but I'm eat like everybody else. You know what I mean? I just don't eat as much as everybody else. I just limit myself because I want to look a certain way and I want to have a certain amount of health and fitness and live a certain type of lifestyle. And I know it means that I have to sacrifice other things that I want right now for the long-term goal. Like this is chess. This is chess. This ain't checkers. You know what I mean? I don't got to have all of my needs and wants. I don't have to have all my wants satisfied right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we do a lot of times is we try to, you know, get everything right now. But I've learned that we're gonna die wanting something. There's always gonna be a new phone. There's always gonna be a new game. There's always gonna be a new console. There's always gonna be a new girl. All these different things. Speaking of girl, all right, so go ahead, man.
Oh, I just had to real quick. All right. You're good. I'm back.
You good. You said nutrition, something else, and then you said sex. But I want to hit on the second one before we get to the sex.
Nutrition, sleep, and sex. The unspoken exercises.
How often do you sleep? Well, not how often. How much do you sleep? Or how do you feel about sleep?
Honestly, how often is a good question. Because like last year, I got really off track and I would go, I don't know how I physically did it, but I would go like a couple days at a time without sleep. I was just either too stressed or just like mentally like overwhelmed, and it's like my brain could not turn off, and like I could not physically sleep. And so there was a long time where like going to sleep once every 3 days was like the norm, and to get myself back on a schedule where I go to sleep every night like a normal person. I know I always get at least 6 hours.
6 hours. Yeah, that's me. I'm usually like a 10 to 4 guy. Sometimes I sleep longer. Like last night I stayed up past 12, so I got up a little bit later today. But usually, you know, on a regular work week, when I'm like in my routine, I'm 10 to 6. 10 to 4, 6 hours of sleep. Some people, say you need more. Some people say you need less. I think it kind of depends on where you're at in your life, and are you being functional? Are you still taking care of your body with whatever plan you're on? Like if I'm doing 6 hours and it's effective and I'm getting everything out of it and I'm not hurting myself in any point, then I think it's okay. But I also understand that some people need 8, 10, 12 hours of sleep, for them to function for whatever type of lifestyle that they have. That's just me. That's how I feel about sleep. But it's different.
Another interesting thing I picked up at the Veteran Center is learning that sleep and rest, I designate myself 6 hours of sleep, but I give myself a lot more rest time. And to me, resting is I'm not at work, I'm not at the gym. If I'm on a video call, if I'm playing video games, that's resting.
Yeah. This is rest. So what we're doing right now, do you consider this rest?
Yeah. Like I'm not physically exerting myself. I'm not at work.
Energy. Yeah. Too much physical energy. You're just exerting mental energy right now. Yeah.
And that's what I like to do anyway, because the way I look at it, sleep is a way for our body to update.
Yeah.
And so the way I look at it, resting time for me is time for me to update. Take in the day, reflect on the day, have talks like this. I love doing stuff like this.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have some more, definitely.
Because that's why I say nutrition, sleep, and sex is I feel like in a way that should be part of your workout.
Sex?
You have to eat not necessarily.
Oh.
All aspects.
Yeah.
Like you can go to the gym every day, but if you eat like crap or you sleep like crap,
there's that balance again.
Yeah, and that's why, like sleeping, there was a while where I became a workaholic. I'd work and I'd sleep maybe 2-3 hours. And your body physically needs to heal. Even if mentally you could probably push through it, your body needs to heal. So that's why I always designate time to turn completely off.
So let's jump into this sex thing.
I would say that's.
What do you mean by that?
That's like getting the last drop of coffee out of the jar. You know what I'm saying? You get a good workout in. You go to work. You get a long day. At the end of the day, you have that energy. Hey, babe, how was your day?
Yeah,
come here.
I feel you.
And plus, a lot of the workout pages I say they say that's a healthy part of an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but it would be nice.
Which is crazy, right? Because I'm in another group, right? And one of the things that they're talking about right now is No Nut November, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like a bunch of dudes who are like trying to abstain from sex and everything else. And I'm just like, but I guess, and the thing about it, there's supposed to be some science behind it. There's obviously science behind everything if you want to find it. But there's some science behind it, and it talks about how holding your semen in can be beneficial to a lot of other different things, mentally and physically and all these different things. So to each his own. That's what they do. I think when it comes to sex, I think it can be sex, but it can be even more so than just sex. It can be that person, that relationship that you're with, and that peace that person can offer you. So it's like you're out there working all day long, you're working, you're grinding, you're doing all of those things, you're fighting the world. And then when you come home, you want to be able to have some peace with that partner when you come home. And sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's Netflix and chill, sometimes it's just sitting around just doing nothing. Sometimes it's laying in the bed with it, sitting beside. Sometimes it's laying in the bed on your phone together. You know what I mean? Watching the same TikToks. You know what I mean? So I think, yes, the sex part, but also even more and a little bit more deeper than that is having that relationship with that person that brings you that peace, and allows you a safe place to be mentally and physically when you come home. You know what I mean? So I'm just adding to the sex thing, not taking anything away from it. I think that's because all of
It's
those
good to
things are
work on
important.
relationships as well.
Yeah.
I listen to like motivation podcasts every morning. One of my friends, she would usually send me like her morning video,
Yeah.
and it caught on, and now I started doing it. So I'll listen to it in the morning, and it always hits on, focus on your personal growth, and it'll talk on that. And then it says, focus on your relationships. And it covers like romantic relationships, friend relationships, and work relationships.
Absolutely.
And that is another aspect you got to work on. It's not just physically active. You got to stay, a part of your job, a part of your work, part of whatever you're into, whether it be a relationship, a friendship. Yeah, socially.
Yeah. And I think that's the good thing about social media, is that it does offer you an avenue to reach out to people. Like, this is because of social. Like, we haven't physically talked to each other in person since 2017. Yeah, but because we have social media, and I think, using social media for like these tools like this to be able to connect and, with people and, offer value to people, in both senses, is a great thing. It's a great tool right now. But here's what I want to do is, it's getting a little late. We're about to hit our mark and stuff like that.
Oh,
but what I want you to do, yeah, man, we've been here almost 2 hours. I want to give you a couple of minutes to say any final thoughts. You can talk about anything you want to talk about, anything that you may have to offer anybody, but just however you want to close this up, it's totally up to you. I've enjoyed it so far, man.
I have had a couple people recently message me because they'll see my post and they'll say, "Hey, where did you start? How long have you been doing it?" And I said, "I just picked it back up." And so like one thing I get asked a lot is where to start. And there's a Marvel TV show that I watched a lot called The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they had a line in one of their episodes, and I love the way they use it. It says, "The steps in life you take don't have to be big, but they just have to be in the right direction."
Powerful.
So
powerful.
I think that'd be a good way. I think those would be some good words to end up on.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you spending time with me and the man Ben. Until next time, stay consistent and stay fit 365 days a year. We are out.